There are infinite potentials that exist. These things are pre-decided. In other words, that which exists already exists. Every infinite potential, past, present, and future, exists right here, right now. In that sense, everything's predetermined. However, you have been given what you call free will. Therefore, you can move through your life in a conscious way if you choose to. And that will allow for you to navigate that sea of possibility in a way that represents your will or your intention. Therefore, even though these things have, in a sense, already been agreed upon, you are the one that gets to determine which types of agreements you align with. For example, if you wanted to, you could make this incarnation, linearly speaking, your final incarnation. You're able to do that. It's just that you must use your free will to align with that agreement, which already exists. That is the transcending of what you call the incarnational process. Some people will choose to simply continue the incarnational process linearly, going from one lifetime to another. And they may use their free will to choose that. And they will be aligning with things that, in a sense, you could say are predestined because all things already exist right here, right now. But they'll be using their free will to align with the thing that has been predestined. And if you were to choose, for example, to make this lifetime, linearly speaking, your last one, you would also be aligning with something predestined, which is the possibility where you transcend the incarnational process altogether. So your existence is both based in free will and predestination simultaneously. All things are like this. In your human experience, you have stronger access to free will, generally speaking. And this has to do with a variety of things that are perhaps a little extensive to get into. But let's just say the following. The unique energy of the human soul enables free will to become more conscious for you while you're on Earth. For other beings, their free will may be experienced in a more limited way because they are more bound to cycles. They are more bound to cycles and currents of energy. Ultimately, they're using their free will to create this. But in terms of their experience, it's almost like they are organizers, generators, and regulators of different cycles within existence. This is what the non-human realms are like, the non-physical realms. For many beings, these are realms of great cycles, and different beings will have different jobs within the cycle they're connected to. Some beings give rise to the cycle. Other beings regulate and organize the cycle, and other beings will end the cycle. And it's like each being has its own place within this grand cycle. This takes place in both positive ways, which you would consider to be generative ways. This takes place also in negative ways, what you would consider to be destructive ways, because as you know, creation has both cycles of generation and destruction. When you are in the human body, you are still connected to cycles. However, because you have the sense of ego that you do, many of you experience yourself as if you were outside of cycles. Now, that can be expressed in a healthy way and in an unhealthy way. It's expressed in an unhealthy way through someone being totally ignorant of the cycles they're a part of, and they end up living in a way that's not balanced with nature. That can create challenges in your health, in your psychology, in your life. However, that sense of being outside of cycles can also be empowering, because when you sense that you are outside of cycles, that you're not bound to them, you can begin to act in ways that are based in your free will. You can begin to act in ways that are based in your true autonomy or sovereignty. So you can make changes within your life, within your process, that can accelerate your evolution. This is why the human soul is, in a sense, less bound, because of the unique ego that it has. And when that ego has transformed into the divine ego through what you call enlightenment processes or spiritual processes, now you're still able to experience being outside of cycles, but in a more positive way and in a way that you use to accelerate your evolution.